Hi, welcome to SBR Sports Picks. I'm Peter Loshak. He's Mike Brenner. We are the odds couple. We come to you from sportsbookreview.com, SBRodds.com. It's week 11 in the NFL. We're talking with Doug Upstone from Vegas Pro Insiders Daily. Right, Doug Upstone?
That is correct. You nailed it.
All right, and we cover the Thursday night game with him every week. And, of course, in our regular show with Doug, he is 29-1 against the spread overall on the year. The Thursday night game.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. This week, well, it's not unbelievable. Doug Upstone's been doing this for a long time.
But that
it's
is
impressive.
It is impressive
Absolutely.
as hell.
All right, so we cover the Thursday night games every week.
And I'm going head-to-head with him against him on Dallas. Holy cow.
That's right. These Thursday night games, some of them can have big edges. Some of them can be very tough. This week, it's the Panthers against the Saints, and the line has gotten down a bit. It opened at about -4 for the Panthers. Now it's down to 3 or 3.5. The Panthers, of course, just a team that kind of underwhelms and disappoints. ATS, they lost at home to KC. They were winning, but then they blew it, and now they're 2-6-1 against the spread overall on the year. The Saints, though, lost to Denver last week. The reports were that the sharp action came in on the Saints. You were on the Mike Brenner. They lost that one, but before that, they had covered 5 in a row against the spread, and both these teams, of course, outgained the teams they lost to last week. So it's an interesting situation. Doug Upstone. Well, first, before we go to Doug, do you have any? You haven't given anything official on this one.
No, I don't. And again,
it's a tricky one.
Breeze on the road, right?
Yeah.
If I'm correct, Carolina's at home. Breeze on the road. I'm just not sold on them. They both have a similar situation. They had a chance last week, and they really could have made a difference, and they didn't come through. So somebody's got to figure it out this week, and that's why I'm going to lean on Doug Upstone.
Yeah, I would have been leaning the Saints at +4. Now it's down to 3 or 3.5. Doug Upstone, what can you tell us about this Thursday night game?
Well, when I look at these two teams, both of them are coming off, as you mentioned, very disappointing losses. And so to me, I think we find out a little bit about each team. What team is the optimist who can put bad things behind them, and what team is the pessimist who lets them linger, especially coming on a short week. Now, New Orleans for sure had the more fluky loss. The block extra point could have won the game. They wouldn't have covered, but they could have won the game. And there's still debate if that Denver player actually stepped out of bounds or not. So, on that for the 2 points. Now, conversely, with Carolina, they had a 17-0 lead and blew it, gave it away. Terrible job by them. And again, just more bad football from Carolina. You mentioned Drew Brees outside. Nonetheless, this is still the #1 passing offense in the NFL, and it's going up against the number 24 pass defense in Carolina. Now, to me, Carolina is proving to be one of those teams that when things are going their way, everything is great. We can do the dab. Everything is great. They're hot. They're excited. But when it doesn't go their way, they handle adversity extremely poorly. So when I look at this game, I expect them to crumble like an Italian cookie that's 3 days old that's been sitting out. The word is out. Cam Newton, completion percentage drops precipitously when he gets pressure. Carolina is 0-6 against the spread off a home loss since 2014. New Orleans comes in 12-3 as an underdog in that same span of time. I will gladly take New Orleans with the points this week.
Wow, nice breakdown. That's where I was leaning as well. It's down to a 3.5 market wide. That might be a nice play, Mike Brenner. Are you going to tail him or what?
I am. I'm jumping.
You are?
Here's why. I love what Doug said, okay? And I just love the thinking. All right. When this last year, everything went right for that team. So they didn't have a hell of a lot of adversity, all right, except for the last, the last game when they lost. All right. And years before that, it's exactly true. Every time they had adversity, they would crumble. They would implode. They would have finger pointing. And Riverboat Ron, I love this guy. He's a great coach. But I think he's got his hands full with some egos on that team. And you know what? After last week's loss, because it was 17-0, I cashed on them on the first half, and they imploded. All right. I think mentally in their mind, they know they got no shot at no Super Bowl this year. Saints, #1 offense, pissed off. That was a fluke win last week. I got to jump on it. Makes sense. And I just figured out Breeze will get it done this week on the road.
So you're going to take New Orleans just on the full game?
On the full game.
+3.5.
And Doug and I drove with the Cowboys to the bank last week. Do you want to jump in?
No, I'm going to hold off. I'm going to wait. I'm going to watch. But I certainly, I think you guys are on the right side. And that was how I was leaning. Doug Upstone from Vegas Pro Insiders Daily. Thanks so much.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts. Shop for lines at SBRodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.